911 Season 8 ended on a high note and laid the groundwork for the 118's future without Bobby. The unstoppable team of Peter Krause and Angela Bassett led 911 when it debuted in 2018. However, both Bobby's bereaved widow and his traumatized team have been fighting to return to normalcy ever since his controversial death in 911 Season 8, Episode 15. Howard, Chimney, Han, Evan, Buckley, and Eddie Diaz all had more nuanced grieving narratives than Henrietta, Hen, Wilson and Ravi Panikkar, who appeared to compartmentalize their suffering. The 118 were all juggling their own problems and conflicts going into 911 Season 8, Episode 18. Athena was unable to look at Chimney, Hen refused to take the captaincy, Eddie was offered a job in El Paso, Buck was losing control because of his loss, and Chimney still felt guilty for Bobby's death. The collapse of a 19-story building, one of 9-1 severe disasters, forces the 118 and Athena to confront not only one another but also themselves. The team collaborates to save everyone on the scene, even after a structural collapse traps unlikely pairs together. With one significant exception, every time she saw Chimney after Bobby's funeral in 911 Season 8, Episode 16, Athena was able to deal with her grief. Although Athena was aware that Chimney was not to blame for Bobby's passing, her intense grief led her to suppress her feelings. Luckily, the building collapsed in the 911 Season 8 finale, trapping the two in the basement and forcing them to cooperate. In order to give the other civilians priority, Graham concealed his abdominal injury from Athena and Chimney during the entire emergency. Like Bobby, he had already come to terms with his death and was going to give himself up, but the 118 stopped him. Athena lets go of her grudge after Chimney saves Graham's life and the 118 escape. When Chimney first asserted that saving Graham was a team effort, Athena said Bobby frequently brought up Chimney's self-underestimation. She continued by saying that Bobby would be pleased with Chimney, and the two embrace. One of 9-1's most contentious decisions after Bobby's death was bringing back Vincent Gerard, Brian Thompson, to lead the 118. Despite 9-1's explanation that Gerard would temporarily replace Bobby, the team felt insulted by the former antagonist being referred to as Cap. Immediately, everyone's eyes were on the remaining 118 members to see who would succeed Bobby. Although the identity of the new captain was not revealed in the 911 Season 8 finale, there were clear indications that Chimney would succeed Bobby. Chimney demonstrated impeccable leadership throughout the episode, both on and off the scene. Buck, who asked to be transferred, was persuaded to stay with the 118 by Chimney's heartfelt speech, and Eddie was persuaded to remain in LA. Hen even unintentionally referred to him as Cap, virtually guaranteeing that Captain Han will open 911 Season 9. Where Eddie would end up at the end of the hour was perhaps the most important question before the 911 Season 8 finale. In the past, 911 suggested that Eddie belonged in Texas, but he and his son Christopher were much happier in Los Angeles. The farewell party at the beginning of 911 Season 8 Episode 18 revealed that Eddie had chosen El Paso in between episodes, despite all the indications that he would have stayed. Before taking his turnouts off, Eddie began searching for a flight to Texas after joining the 118 for the rescue. Although the 118 has been 9-1's adopted family since day one, they encountered numerous challenges during Season 8. Although the season technically ended the same way that it started, Bobby's legacy will endure within the LAFD. Even though the first major character death in 911 marked a significant turning point for the show, Captain Nash's legacy will endure forever, whether it is through a brief remark or a deliberate zoom-in on a photo of Peter Krause's face. The pain of Bobby's shocking death may never fade, but 911 at least offered the consolation that Athena and the rest of the ensemble cast have each other to lean on. Even though many people still consider Bobby's death to be an unnecessary plot twist, it highlights the dangers of the firefighting profession. 911 has never been about realism or cheap tricks. I hate to say it, but the series had to move on to the next chapter, and Bobby's retirement probably wouldn't have the same impact. There were still conflicts waiting for the 118 in Season 9, even though the 911 Season 8 finale brought everyone back together. Every plot point in Seismic Shifts that was definitively resolved still required a satisfying resolution. 911 must explain why, after creating a whole subplot about Buck possibly having feelings for Eddie, it chose to ignore it. It's unclear where Athena is going or what she intends to do in 911 Season 9 now that she and Bobby have sold their home. Hopefully, 911 won't feature any near-death experiences until the audience has moved past Bobby's passing, or at the very least, accepted it enough to move on. 911 needs to get back to a good balance of fear and fun. There are many ways to increase the stakes without killing anyone else. All eyes will be on the first responder drama for a season that could make or break 911 because nothing is clear about the show's future after season 9.